So I just want to show you. I'm just going to open here a separate doc. I'm going to show you like how that could look like. So I'm going to try to keep the to list in one document, and I'm going to create four separate sections on my to do list by creating a table with four boxes in it. Now, in the top box, actually, I'm going to create another column here as well. Now, in this first box, it's going to be my active to do list. This is going to be my daily tasks. This is might be my weekly tasks, and these might be my monthly tasks. So what are some of the things I have to do every month, right? So let's say, well, I every month I usually have to pay my bills, right? So I have to pay my mortgage, credit cards, pay utilities, send money to savings account. That might be something that I have to do every month, right? Another thing that I do every month is I harrow the horse pastures. This allows me to spread the manure so that it doesn't become unsanitary for the horses. I do a full cleaning on my chicken coop at least once a month. I also clean the barn at least once a month here in my property. So these are some of the things that I have to do in a monthly basis. What about some of the things that I got to do every week? That at least once a week I gotta get this done, or about once a week. While we have groceries, I either have to pick them up or actually shop for groceries. Small cleaning or in food refill for chickens. They only need to be fed once a week because I have a chicken feeder that doesn't require me to check every single day for that. What else do I need to do once a week? Oh, yes, I definitely do a cleaning on the house once a week. And I'm going to put on the monthly here a deep cleaning on the house. At least once a month, I do a better job in doing cleaning more stuff. What are some of the chores that I do every day? Okay, well, this is where it gets a little bit more because I do these things every day. I do meditation every day. I It's almost daily, but I do some sort of either exercise or relaxation each day, and that could be just hopping in a hot tub or going to my gym and doing that. I have to cook every day, almost every day. Sometimes I alternate with my wife, and she will do the cooking for us. I have to kind of clean the kitchen, which includes doing things like dishes and cleaning the counters and the sink. Do that almost every day. Uh, on the weekly here of cleaning the house, that includes the bathrooms and rooming the floors, something like that. Some light dusting, stuff like that. What else do I do every single day? Let's see. I have to feed horses, and this is actually I do twice a day. I uh, I have to clean the backyard from because it's just some dogs use the backyard, and sometimes they go to the bathroom there, and it's unsanitary if you don't clean it every day. So I got to do that every day. What else? I got to refill horse water. It's very important to have water every day, and also feed the horses every single day. I also have to feed a cat and also make sure he has water in the barn. Um, Almost every day, I train or hang out with my dog. So things I do every single day. Uh, I do some reading almost every day. So these are some personal items that I will do. And I'm forgetting things here, but this is just give you an example, right? So these are some of the things I might have on my daily, my weekly, and monthly to do lists. Then on my active to do list, it might be more a matter of the things that I that show up that I actually got to take care of. So, for example, right now I have the to-do list videos that I'm trying to record. I also have to record a video for my colleagues on how to. So I have an Agenuity session log video that I have to do for my colleagues. I have to grade chemistry villains. I have to prepare next biology lesson, and I also have to prepare the next chemistry unit. What else is on my to-do list? Oh, this is more of a weekly thing that I do. It's for work, but I have to do it every week, which is submit progress report for Edgenuity students. I do this every Friday. Groceries, I usually do it on Saturdays. The cleanings, I usually do it on Sundays or Fridays. Sometimes I do it Friday afternoons, and that's kind of cool because then I have more time to relax on my weekends if I do it that way. But if I know which day it needs to get done, I like to put that in parentheses after the thing, so that way I know when the to do date is. So I'm starting to add those layers that we talked about in the previous video, right? So maybe I have to do this on the first of the month. Usually the first of the month that I pay all my bills. I usually have a pasture on the second weekend of every month. The chicken coop goes on the third weekend of every month. I clean the barn on the fourth weekend of every month. And I usually do the deep cleaning on the first weekend of every month. That way, I don't have to do everything at once in one day, and it gets less overwhelming. If you're having to do all that in one day, I would just basically do nothing on that weekend, but do those kind of monthly tasks. So, uh, meditation. Usually, I do this in the mornings or after work. Uh, and I usually flip which ones I do exercise or so if I do a meditation after work, I usually exercise in the morning or vice versa. I usually cook at night, feed horses twice a day, so I usually do this in the morning and after work. Clean the backyard is for the dogs. Droppings is usually going to happen after work as well. The water for the horses and feed them. I already had to feed the horses up here, so I don't need that twice. Feed and water for the cat in the barn. That's usually in the afternoons also. Uh, this is when I can. And I read also usually in the evenings before going to bed. But these are some examples of when I do it. So for the active to-do list, I will put deadlines, right? So let's say I want to do this by 10:24. I want to do this by 10:21. This is going to be due on 10:25. This is going to be due on 10:27. This is due today, so I'll put it at 10:20. These are some examples of some of the tasks that I have on my to-do list, right? All right, so let's add some of the layers that I talked about on the other videos. So first, we talked about bullets to keep things organized. I also have the separate areas for the things which are routine versus the things which are only happening once, which is my active to-do list. Um, let's say I wanted to uh, order by importance, right? So let's do that with my daily list, right? I can't kill my horses and my cat. So even though meditation is very important to me, I think that these things rely on me, and I need to feed my cat and my horses every single day. That's super important. Meditation to me is more important than exercise, so I'll put that on the top. Definitely need to cook, otherwise I'll starve. So I'll put that even above the meditation. You gotta, and I like to eat healthy, so I don't take the time to do it. Uh, I do think it's important to exercise, but I hate living in a mess. So cleaning the kitchen at least once is very important, and so is the backyard. But I prefer exercising and clean the backyard. If it has to skip a day, it's not the end of the day for that. I do like reading more than I like training my dogs, so I would like to put that in that order. So there's an example of me prioritizing, right? And I'm not going to do that with the other ones. It's just kind of like the idea, but I'll do that with the active list. So these videos that I'm doing right now is actually less important than these lessons. But I have time for these lessons. I really wanted to get the videos done by today, so that's why they are on the top of my list. But the doing those lessons is definitely more important. Oh, this reminds me. I also have to uh, refinance uh, business debt. My wife has some business debt that we're trying to refinance into a single consolidated loan, and I need to get this done by the end of the month. And that is actually pretty important. It's a personal item but it's has to do with my wife's business, but it's definitely more important than anything else. So we're working on that together to make sure that gets done. There's some other tasks that I have to do right now that I just remember. I gotta uh, fix the exterior siding on my house. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to have to do that by, but hopefully before next summer, before the rains come out, because otherwise it'll be problematic if that's not done, etc. Anyways, this is enough to get an idea of how to do the process, right? So like you're going to organize things in the order that you feel are more important. The other layer is to write the deadlines in parentheses. I already did that. How about bolding the urgent items, right? These are the things which are coming up. So uh, even though I think this is less important, I mean, if I don't get to grade it, it's not the end of the world. Preparing the next lesson is more important. Otherwise, I have nothing to do with my students next week. So I have to get that done and get everything prepared. And this is a video that I'm doing for other people. That is definitely less important than this. And the siding in my house is actually probably the most important thing, but it's not urgent, at least not right now. So I can probably wait. But anyways, I bolded some of this urgent stuff that's coming up, right? Like the to-do list videos that I'm doing, which are due by today. Next layer we talked about is, let's say it was the beginning of the day, and I was trying really hard to kind of prioritize the things I wanted to get done today. So maybe it was this, and then obviously I want to do my daily tasks. So these things have to be done every day. Out of those daily tasks, if I have to prioritize just a few, right, I would say these are the ones I have to do first, right? So I would just put, so I underline like a couple of key things. But the underlying thing is more about your active lists, like one or two things that you want to try to get done today, right? So I'm gonna get they're not as important, but they're not as but the other things which are more important, they're not as urgent. So actually, I don't think this is. I can wait. It can wait. So even if I don't get it, it's done by tomorrow. I can probably do this tomorrow. And instead, I am going to work a little on the business refinance, and I'm preparing my biology lesson. So you see, I underlined the three key things I'm going to try to get done today on my to-do list. And to talk about is setting it up in 4 sections. And there's also color coding, right? So we could color code this if I wanted to. So I got some personal items here, and you could always put them in a different list too. But I'm going to put my personal stuff in blue. My wife's business, I'll put it in red. My biology class stuff, I'll put it in green. My chemistry stuff, I'll put it in yellow or orange. Stuff that I'm doing for my colleagues, I'll put it in purple. This is also chemistry, so I'll put it in orange. I'm doing this for my colleagues, so again, purple, right? And so a lot of this is personal stuff here, so it's just going to be all blue. Most of this is just personal stuff here, or my routine tasks. There is that Edgenuity report that I have to do, which is for work. Miscellaneous work things, I'll just put it that in black. What else did I have to do weekly? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But on Mondays, I do my advisory student check-in reports. I send emails to my advisory students and ask them how they're doing and check on their grades, try to help them with that. And so I'll put that in black as well. So I color code, and then now what I could also do is just instead of color coding, just have a different to-do list for the different areas of my life and not mix up my private stuff with my work stuff. And so I could just have a different page or a different document where I do my private stuff from the work stuff, and that could work on as well.
If you are going to color code, though, it's nice to have in the bottom a little color coding key so that it tells you what each thing is. And here I added a different color actually to separate my chores from actual things which are personal for me. And I have all the colors and what they symbolized, like on the bottom. And I also added italicized the things that actually have personal significance to me, because there's another layer that you can do as well. Because even among the things which are important, it might be important because it's something that is aligned with your long-term goals, but it might not be something you enjoy doing, right? Or that has personal significance to you. And I really like to watch out for those personal significance items, like for me, meditating, exercising, training with my dogs, and believe it or not, feeding my horses because I love them, uh, and fixing the exterior of my house because I really want to be able to live in a good place, and cooking because I want to have a healthy life. And that even reminds me. I know it might be a strange thing to put it on your to-do list, but it is super important, and I want to put it here, maybe even before, right after meditation, which is spending time with my wife. It's something that I like to do almost every day if I can, or with a friend if it's not with my wife, because it's important to for me to continue to build those relationships. And so these things which are significant to you, I like to put them in italicized.
Now, as I complete each thing, let's say, for example, I finish my to-do list videos, I could strike through this thing, and you can strike through quickly by doing Alt Shift 5. So let's say, for example, I did that one, and I do Alt Shift 5, and then a strike through. And then it's not there. Now, like I said, it can get kind of messy by the time you have a lot of things strike through. So let's say, for example, I also finish preparing my next lesson. So I do Alt Shift 5. That one struck through as well, right? But now that's not important anymore because it's done. So I can just kind of move the other items to the top. And the stuff that's struck through just stays in the bottom. But I kind of like to leave it there because it kind of motivates me to tell me, hey, good job, Jeff. You got that done. Another layer that'd be kind of cool is I can say how long did it took me to do this. Um, this one took me 1 hour to complete. This one took me, let's say, 30 minutes to complete, right? So I can log how long it took me to do it because it helps me later to remember how long it takes me to do these kinds of things when I'm planning for the next time. I kind of have an idea of how long it would take. And I do want to note too that you don't have to do all of these things, right? These are just different ideas of what you can do on your to-do list. You can maybe just have the bullets. You don't have to color code or strike through or bold it or underline or divide it in different categories or have the routine tasks together there or anything like that, right? You use as many of these ideas as you want, whatever helps you stay prioritized. Some people think that reorganizing the list and reprioritizing every time you're putting something new takes too long. I think that it takes like me 5 minutes in the morning and then 5 minutes in the evening. And it's usually in the evening that I decide the things I'm underlining for the next day, right? So if I had finished this today, I still have to work on that one. Oh, one thing I forgot to show also is I could break this down into parts, right? So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to put a subtask here. This one is fair profit and loss statement, download bank statements. These are things I need to do for the refinance process. Complete online application, sign, promissory note, right? And maybe I won't have time to do all of these in one day, but each day I can maybe do one of them, right? So if I already did this one today, because that was the part that I wanted to do, that gets struck through, and then I move on to the next task. So if I'm deciding what I'm going to do tomorrow, it's the evening. I would say tomorrow I'm going to try to do the bank statement bit and maybe complete the online application as well. And then because the villains will be due, I will just grade that. And that's going to be the three things I must get done tomorrow, right? But again, you don't have to do all of this. You can do whatever you feel like it's helpful, that actually is efficient for you, that actually helps you not forget things and help you speed up your process in life. So this is the priority list to-do list method. These are the strategies that I showed you on my example. Hopefully this you found this helpful. In the next video, I'm going to talk about a different method to keep up your to-do lists.